and now The Kindest Place in print. Both were built out of the experiences that I had growing up and the profound impact that kindness and its absence has had on my life. As I began to tour the world, I would share my experiences on stage, and thousands of young people from all over the world would share theirs with me. We would cry together, laugh together, heal together, and promise one another that we'd continue to not only survive, but that we would find a way to thrive. It was in that spirit and with their spirit that we started our work at Born This Way Foundation for a generation of young people who shouldn't have to live in a brave, kind world that only exists in their heads. Our goals at the foundation, and I would venture in our lives for the team of people who have made this work their mission, are threefold: to make kindness cool, to validate the emotions of young people around the world, and to eliminate the stigma surrounding mental health. It will take all of us to accomplish these lofty goals, and we believe that young people are uniquely positioned to create this kinder, braver world because they are filled with hope, compassion, and a commitment to community, and they are defined by diversity, inclusivity, and a distinct perseverance that make them powerful beyond even their own wildest imaginations. In each interaction I have with young people, I see this, and you will hear this here too, in every story. Love, Lady Gaga. The value of negative space. When I was young, I prayed a lot. Whether that implicitly means that someone should or should not listen to this book, however, is decidedly irrelevant. It wasn't because I was religious. It was because I was a deep, passionate thinker who thought a lot and was spiritual and creative, even when I was very little. So, if we substitute prayer with asking the universe questions about my life, this to me would be a more accurate way for you to understand the beginning of my story as Lady Gaga and why it is important to read and share this book with others. I always considered myself a theorist and would posture ideas constantly to myself and those around me. Who am I? What am I? Who are we as humankind? Then I began channeling this into inventions, music, characters in school plays, poetry, and writing. Needless to say, at some point, lots of people have found me to be very peculiar. Weird was a word I heard a lot. Why do you want to be a singer? Actress, dancer, performer, artist, writer was also condescendingly asked of me. And to be honest, it ultimately felt as though many relentless and quite mean children and adults around me were asking me why I existed, because I never felt like I existed without art. Thus began my journey with bullying. I was even bullied in class for essays similar to the one you're listening to right now. Once I gave a dissertation my senior year of high school. I practiced it all night. It was about shock art and representations of Christianity in art throughout history. The latter being the point of my homework, and the former being the conceptual twist I threw in to make all 80 pages of my thesis interesting to me. I distinctly recall a moment, one of many stories that made me who I am. I was delivering my thesis as a speech to my class, with poster boards I'd beautifully made to show the evolution of God in art from classical to contemporary, and my teacher was called out of the room for an emergency and asked me to continue my presentation. In the middle of my speech, my high school bully, in front of my entire class, loudly and rudely interrupted me and said, "Why are you still talking?" Now, because this is a book and not a movie or episodic show on Netflix, I can't do an impression of her to truly do her justice, but let's just say her tone was the equivalent of, "You're annoying and dumb, and could you please spare me and this entire class of your idiotic attempt to care about this assignment?" I was upset that I actually did something I hadn't done so openly before.